I think we're...
Good evening, everyone. The term rubbernecking is often used to refer to the activity of motorists slowing down on the other side of a highway from where an incident or an accident took place because they want to gawk at what's going on. They want to see the flashing lights. They want to see the drama. They want to see what's going on. According to Laura Lee in her 2004 book, The 100 Most Dangerous Things in Everyday Life and What You Can Do About Them, rubbernecking was the cause of 16% of distraction-related traffic accidents. In fact, the problem was so great that the English Department of Transportation decided that they were going to try an experiment. They were going to send out a crew to every major accident in a certain district, and they were going to put up big screens on the side of the accident so that people on the other side of the highway wouldn't take a peek at what was going on. In Parashat Shemos, we have the famous incident of the burning bush. Moses is walking through the desert, herding his father-in-law Yisro's sheep, and he sees something that blows his mind, something astounding. I'd like to read to you the account because I think it's very profound and it can give a lot of insight into what happened. Vayar Malach Hashem Elav, and the angel of God appeared to Moshe. Belabas eish mitoch hasneh, and a flame of fire from within the thorn bush. Vayar, and behold, Vinei hasneh bo'er ba'esh, the thorn bush was burning with fire. Vasnei inenu ukol, and the bush was not being consumed. Vayomer Moshe, and Moshe said, Asura naverer, I'm going to turn and I will see. Es hamara hagadol hazeh, this great vision, this great spectacle. Madua lo yivar hasneh, why is this thorn bush not being burned up? Why is it not being consumed? Vayar Hashem kisar leros, God sees that Moshe turned to see what was going on. Vayikra elav Elokim, and the Lord called out to him, mitoch hasneh, from the midst of the bush. Vayomer Moshe, Moshe, and he says, Moses, Moses. Vayomer, and Moshe responds, Hineni, behold, I'm here. So this account is very unique. Usually, the Torah will say, Vayedaber Hashem al Moshe lemor, God spoke to Moshe, and he said the following. Here, we don't see that phrase mentioned at all. Additionally, more often than not, the Torah will not describe the details surrounding God's communication with a prophet, with a Navi. It will just say, God appeared to the Navi, to our prophet, in a dream. The Torah will not say that the Navi, the prophet, was located in such and such location, he had this to drink for dinner, and, he went to sleep at such and such time. We don't have the details. So what's the significance of the Torah describing the details of Moshe's vision from God? The Sforno explains that when Moshe Rabbeinu made the fitful statement, Asur naver I will turn now and I will see, Moshe Rabbeinu was in fact saying, I need to understand what is going on. Moshe realized that God was trying to communicate with him, and that there was something deeper beyond the special effects. Moshe didn't rubberneck, he reflected. He asked himself, how could it be that the Jewish people, represented by the thorn bush, were being subjugated by the Egyptians, which was representative of the fire, and yet they were not destroyed. The sneh, the burning bush, has not been consumed. This event was the turning point in Moshe Rabbeinu's life, and it was the foundation of his greatness. Before this point, we know very little about Moshe Rabbeinu's upbringing. Besides for killing an Egyptian and running away from an argument with Dasan and Aviram, it doesn't seem that Moshe accomplished very much at all. Yet, this account is the turning point in Moshe Rabbeinu's life. And this is the moment where he becomes the leader of the Jewish people. Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor who was the founder of logotherapy, which is a form of existential analysis. In his seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor presents a very profound idea. He wrote, don't ask what you want from life. Ask what life wants from you. Moshe Rabbeinu asked himself a similar question. He didn't say, what do I want from life? What do I want out of my relationship with God? He said, what is God asking from me? What is God trying to tell me? God sends us messages on a regular basis. And maybe they're not as dramatic as a burning bush that is not being consumed. But God talks to each and every one of his creations. Moshe Rabbeinu became great. He became the greatest prophet of all time, and he led the Jewish people from being slaves to being free men, from being subjugated to power to having a connection to God at Mount Sinai, because he internalized and he reflected on the messages that God was sending to him. Let us all be open to the messages that God sends to us each and every day, and to reflect on what's the takeaway that we can bring out from God's communication with us. Have a great week.